All right, this is remainder concept one, the easiest one. So first off, Esther used 1/4 of allowance to buy a bag. So the one here refers to the bag and the 4 units refers to her allowance. Okay, so at the beginning, my total allowance will be cut into 1, 2, 3, 4 because allowance has 4 units. Out of the 4 units, 1 unit for my bag. So I'm going to label this as bag because they ask you to fill in the blanks on the model below using the words in bold. Okay, so if this is bag, then what do I call this? This would be your remainder. So you fill in whatever that is being bold inside. Don't come up with your other words, all right? And check the spelling of the word remainder, okay? So next, and spend 1/3 of the remainder on food. So the 3 refers to my remainder, 1, 2, 3. So out of the 3 units, 1 unit is for food. So this one box for the remainder, I'll label this as food. Next, they tell you that she was left with $1,800. The one that's being bold is the word left, not this. So we're gonna fill in the left here in the 2 units. All right, so that's it. Next, I know that the $1,800 is my left, so I'm gonna label my $1,800 here, okay? And they wanna know how much was her allowance, so my question mark will involve the whole thing. Okay, so I have 4 units here, out of which 2 units is my left. So 2 units is $1,800. My total allowance 4 units will just be times 2 actually. So $1,800 times 2 will give me $3,600. Okay, that's it for this question. All right, the next question for this one, also still on unit concept. So 1 out of 7 of a school garden was used to grow vegetables. So the 7 refers to my total school garden, my entire school garden. The 1 unit refers to the one that I used to grow vegetables. So I'm going to cut my entire model. I'm going to draw 7 equal units to represent my entire garden. Right? Make sure your model is big and clear so you can see clearly. Don't squeeze your model together. You have more than enough space to work with. So out of the 7, I'm going to shade 1 for the growing of vegetable. Okay, and what do I call this? I'm going to call it the remainder. So to make it easy for, I'm just going to write a capital R and a circle to represent remainder. Okay, now next, I'm going to drop down my remainder bar so that you can cut it later on. Don't forget this bar that I'm drawing down now is actually this remainder. It is the same thing. Okay, it is the same thing. It is actually this. So this and this, we're talking about the same thing. I just drop it down for us to make it easy for us to see and cut. Now, next. 1/3 of the remaining garden. So I'm talking about the remaining garden now, not the total garden anymore. So 1/3 the remaining garden. So in my remaining garden, I need to have 3 units. Okay, so I'm going to cut my remaining garden into 3 units, out of which 1 is used to grow orchids. So I'm going to shade 1 unit for the orchids. Okay, and I don't know what this tool is because I never mentioned anything about it, so I'm going to leave it alone. Now the next thing, after I'm done with this, then the next thing is you need to make sure to check, is this top bar, the remainder, the same as the drop down one, because we are talking about the same thing. So my number of units has to be the same. So let's count on. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. This is 1, 2, 3. They are not the same yet, so I got to make them the same. So when you make them the same, always ask yourself first, can I multiply only one side to get to the other one? Ask yourself first. So you look at the smaller one, which is a 3. Can I get from 3 to 6? So I can take 3 times 2 to give me 6. So I can actually cut each one into 2 units. So I can cut it down 2 units, 2 units, 2 units. If not, I can simply just write in 2 units like this will do. It will represent this whole thing as being cut into 2. Okay. Now, if I'm not able to get from one side to the other, I'll have to use the LCM of those both numbers. All right. So this 2 units, 2 units, 2 units. So on top here will also be 6 units in total. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So my model is done. Now let's get a question. They only ask you for what fraction of the garden was used to grow orchids. So I'm looking for a fraction here. So what fraction of the garden? So my garden is my denominator. And the thing I'm interested in, the numerator, is my orchids. Okay, so my orchids of my garden, orchids will be here, read off. My orchids is 2 units. Sorry. And then my garden is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 units. When I'm talking about the garden, I'm talking about the whole garden. If you're only going to write 6, it's only the remainder. So you must count everything in. It's my entire garden here. So my answer is just 2 out of 7. Okay, that's it. All right, question 5. Now, 2 of 11 of the coins in the box are 10-cent coins. So here, I'm talking about the number of coins, not the value of coins yet. So the 11 refers to the total number of coins in the box. The 2 refers to my number of 10-cent coins. Okay, so I draw 11 boxes to represent the total number of coins, out of which I'm going to shade 2 for the 10-cent coins. So this would be my 10-cent coins, the number of 10-cent coins. So this would be my remainder. Okay, after which I will drop down this part here. Okay, and then they say 5 out of 18 of the remainder are $1 coin. So I know 18 is my remainder, total remainder here, which is this one here. And the 5 refers to my number of $1 coins. Okay, now 18 is a bit too long to cut. So instead of cutting 18 units like, right, we can actually partition it up just to simply a 5 units to represent the $1 coin. And 18 minus 5 unit would be, this is 13 units then. This one would be the remaining coins are 20-cent coins. So this would be my 20-cent coins. Okay, so you can still cut if you want to, but my advice is not to, because if you cut too small, you might also miscount as well. So you can simply just put in a 5 units and the 13 units here. Okay, now next, after I'm done doing this, then I need to make sure that whatever I drop down has to be the same as whatever is on top of the remainder, because this and this, they are the same thing. I'm just projecting out for us to cut and compare. Okay, so here on top I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 boxes here, but here I have 18 units in total. So they are not the same yet, so I gotta make them the same. So my first question, coming back to it again, is can I get the smaller number to multiply to become the bigger one? So the smaller one is 9 here. Can I take 9 to multiply by something to give me 18? The answer is yes, 9 times 2. So each box I'm going to cut into 2 units. So you can choose to cut into 2 units. If not, you can actually just put in 2 units like this will do. All right. So putting the 2 units, it is the same as cutting it into 2 like that. Cutting it into 2. They are the same thing. It's just that for us to work with easier, I can just put in the 2 units like this. Okay. So the first 2 boxes, I also cut in 2 units as well. Okay. So which means that now my top remainder and the bottom, they are the same already. So let's just label 10-cent coins is no longer 2 units. 10-cent coins is 4 units now, because I cut it up already. $1 coin is 5 units. And 20-cent coins is 13 units. Okay. Next. There are 45 more 20-cent coins than 10 cents. So I'm comparing 20-cent coins and 10-cent coins. So please circle it so you know which one you're comparing. So I'm going to take 13 units minus 4 units, that would be 9 units. 9 units will represent a difference of 45 coins. This 45 coins, okay? So 1 unit would be 45 divided by 9, which is 5 coins, okay? We want to find the total value of all the coins in the box. So I know 1 unit is 5 coins. I can't take 5 times 4. Wait, I'm going to box it up for you to see. So what you're going to do now is very simple. I'm going to start off with the 10-cent coins. So I know for the 10-cent coins, 10-cent coins has 4 units. So 4 units means 5 coins times 4. There's a total of 20 10-cent coins, okay? So 20 times 10 cents is 200 cents, or you can simply put it as $2. For my $1 coins, $1 coins would be 5 units. So 5 units would be 5 coins times 5, 25 coins. 25 times the value of $1 coin. So 25 times $1 is $25. Okay. And lastly, my 20-cent coins, I would have 20-cent coins is 13 units. So 13 units, the number of coins for 20-cent coins will be 5 times 13. I will have 65 20-cent coins. That will be 65 times 20 cents, which would bring me to, 1,300 cents. Okay, just take 65 times 2 will do, then you add a 0 at the back. Because 65 times 2 is 130, then plus a 0. All right. And this translates to $13 because $1 is 100 cents. Okay. So end up the value of all the coins will simply be adding the $2 plus the $25 plus the $13. And that will bring me to $40 as the answer. Okay, that's it. Now, next question. The waste collector sorted some recyclable items. 3/4 of the items were paper, so the total items is 4 units, and paper is up 3. So I draw 4, and then I am going to shade 3 to represent the paper. So this is paper. Okay, and of course, this would be my remainder. Next, 1/6 of the remainder of plastic. So I'm going to drop this down. 1/6. So I'm going to cut this into 6 units. Okay, and then I'm going to shade 1. And this would be my plastic. While this 5 would be my glass. Okay, because it's the remainder is 6 units, the plastic is 1, and the rest for glasses. All right. So once I've done with this, then now to check my remainder. Are they the same first? So this is 1, this is 6. So your same thing back to the question. Can I get from 1 to become 6? The answer is yes, by multiplying by 6. So just instead of cutting to 6 units, you can simply put in a 6 here, we'll do 6 units. So all of this I will cut into 6 equal units here. Okay. So in total, paper will now become 6, 6, 6, that's 18 units. Plastic is 1 unit, glass is 5 units. Okay, now next line. There were 8 kg less plastic items than glass items. I'm comparing between plastic and glass. Don't compare the wrong thing, plastic and glass, so that it's 5 units minus 1 unit, that's a difference of 4 units. So my 4 unit actually represents the 8 kg difference. Okay, so 1 unit will be 8 divided by 4, which is 2 kg. How much paper items were there? Paper is 18 units. So 18 units would be 18 times 2, 36 kg. Okay, don't forget to put in a unit kg here because it asks you how much paper items. It's uncountable. So you need a unit here. All right. That's it. Okay, this question is a little special from the rest of it. So let's look at this. Yeah. Now, Danish spent 5 of his money on a toy car. So I'm going to take, I draw this 6 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to represent my total money for Danish. And I'm going to shade 5 because this 5 will represent the money that he spent on the toy car. Okay. Then he spent 1/4 of his remaining money on 5 books. So this will be my remainder. And of course, the remainder we always drop down. Okay. So in the second line, it mentioned that he spent 1/4 of his remaining money. So remaining money is 4 parts. I'm going to cut into 4. Okay. And I'm going to shade 1 because this 1 represents the money that he spends on 5 books. Okay, 5 books. Now, next thing now is I'm done with everything with this. So let's look at this, yeah. So we always need to check if the remainder here and the drop down one below is the same because you're talking about the same thing. So this is 1 box, this is 4. So can I get from 1 to 4? What can I do? I can simply multiply by 4. So 1 times 4 gives me 4. So I can just take the 1 box and I'm going to cut this into 4 units by multiplying by 4. So I'm going to do the same for the rest as well. Okay. So my toy car now is 4 times 5, so total 20 units. Okay. 20 units, huh? All right. So how many books could Danish buy the money they spend on the toy cars? So 1 unit can buy me 5 books. So the 20 units will be able to take me 5 times 20, which is 100 books. That's it. Okay. All right, this next question. At a carnival, 1/4 of the people were adults. So total people is 4 units, adult is 1 unit. So I cut this into 4 and I'm going to label this one as adults. I'm not going to call the other side remaining because never mentioned anything about remaining, the word remaining or remainder. But if I know this is adult, then this 3 must be my children, as they mentioned here about the children. So you're either adults or children, okay? Now next, they say 2/5 of the children. So I'm going to drop down from here the children. Because here, children by right should be 5 units, but here the children is 3 units. So I'm going to drop it down for us to do some cutting later, okay? So they say 2/5 of the children. So, and my children has to be 5 units. I'm going to cut into 5. After 5, I'm going to shade this 2 because they say 2/5 of the children wore spectacles. So this specs. So you either wear specs or you don't wear specs. So label very clearly on the model, okay? So next, let's look at this first. So before we go on to adults, let's settle the children first. The children on top and the children below has to be the same number of units because we are talking about the same group of children. So on top is 3 units, the bottom is 5 parts. So ask yourself, can I get from 3 to 5 by multiplication? No. So what we can do, we can use LCM of 3 and 5, which is 15. So I want to have 50 units on top and 15 units below. To get 15 units on top, 3 times 5 gives me 15. So I'm going to put in 5 units inside each box to get me 15 units. And to get 15 units below, 5 times 3. So each one I put in 3 units. Okay. So they're equal now. Then I can look on to my adults. So if these are 5 units, this box also has to be 5 units. Okay. Next. They say 3/5 of the adults wore spectacles. So you can either do it inside here directly. So you can remove this out of the 5 units because adults is 5 units. I can split it up into 3 units for the ones that wore spectacles. So this is the specs. That means the 2 units are the ones that no spectacles. Okay. So I'm done here with my model. Everything is all checked. Now let's go to the last line. Find the total number of people at a carnival. So I want my total, question mark. If 132 people did not wear spectacles. People referring both adults and children. So the ones that did not wear spectacles would be the 2 units here and the 9 units here. So 2 units plus 9 units is 11 units. Okay, so 11 units would be 132. 1 unit will be 132 divided by 11, which is 12. All right, so total would be 5, 10, 15, 20. There are 20 units here. So that will be 12 times 20, which is 240 people. That's it. Okay.